To today's Mama's How to Cooking channel. Today we will be learning how to make Cuban sandwiches. Okay. So to make a Cuban sandwich is pretty easy. I live in North Carolina, so in North Carolina we don't have the authentic Cuban sandwich bread. However, I tend to use just regular French bread. Get them at Walmart, $1 a loaf. Cut them into 3 parts. Of course, cut the ends off. Okay. The carnitas or the el puerco, I used it from just cooking regular butt roast. I used a little bit of water and some sazon, complete seasoning, adobo. So to give it that flavor, leave it there. It takes about 4 to 6 hours to cook, depending on how high you have the temperature and how you're constantly turning it over. The meat will come right off the bone. So some of the ingredients that we use for Cuban sandwich is ham. I like using the cooked ham. I like using baby Swiss cheese. I cut them into little triangles if you buy them squared. And some pickles. Okay, and then we use mayo. I like using olive oil mayo. I don't know, is that authentic, but I use olive oil mayo at home, and just mustard. Okay, all right, so here we go. So first thing we're going to do is take a piece of the bread. Okay, I like to use this side of the bread opposed to this side, just because this is like the folded part. So I tend to cut it just a little bit above half of the bread. Okay, just cut it through. Because this bread has a lot of the inside, so you're not eating a lot of bread, I just kind of tend to pick out the inside so you have more to kind of stuff in. Okay, right, so next we're going to take our mayo. We're going to put some mayo here. And we're going to do some mustard. I love creating little happy faces with my mustard as I put them on, because then I get to pass it all over the bread. Okay. All right. So after I lay out the mustard and mayo, okay, the first thing we're going to put down is our ham. I like to fold our ham in half just because you have a thicker sense of the ham. So we'll probably do maybe about 4 slices just to get it meaty. Okay. Next, I'm going to get some carnitas, or Mexicans call it carnitas. Or in some countries, we call it puerco. Okay, so we're going to put the puerco, the pork, right on top. Okay, and again, this was just made by using at home by some adobo or Hispanic condiments. Okay, now the pork might fall kind of over, but it's okay. Okay, right next, we're going to get some Swiss cheese. Okay. I like to be fancy and design my Swiss cheese with little triangles. And what I love about the cheese is when I put it to heat, it's going to melt with the pickle. Now, this bread obviously is going to be too high to cover, so you can always cut that folded end, place it on top, okay, just like that. Okay, so you have your Cuban layered sandwich. Okay, and we'll put it on this. I like to use a George Foreman grill to do this, just because it flattens the bread and it gives it like a really nice toasted design on it. Okay, we'll just leave it there just for a couple of minutes. What I also like to do with the bread when I put it in the George Foreman grill is wrap it in aluminum. Take the sandwich, wrap it in aluminum, and then let it sit there, and it gives it nice and toasty. And of course, aluminum, you can't really get burned. but it will definitely help it stay warm. Okay, you can start seeing that's getting its little grill design on there. And another word we like to use for the pork, and I just remembered it because it's been many years since I've lived in Miami, is lechon. So you call it carnitas, lechon, puerco, same thing. All cooked the same way because they all come out delicious. Okay, and you can see that the cheese is little by little is getting melted on there. Okay, alright, so it's grilling. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and close it up for a couple more minutes. Alright, see you in a minute. Alright, so the Cuban sandwich is done. You can see the cheese is melted. Okay, it's all nice, warm, and toasty. Okay, and you can now give to enjoy. Alright, hope you enjoy learning how to make Cuban sandwiches, and see you for the next Mama's How To Cooking channel.